Hey everybody, Dan here for Comic Frontline. It is time for an indie comic book haul. It's been a little while, so I call this the Monster Haul, and as you can see, this is going to be the most monstrous of all. All right. Normally I save the Argo comics for the end, but being that I am doing a Kickstarter, and that's a time-sensitive type of thing, I will point out, and this is the proof copy I had made, that the Argo 5 Kickstarter is up and running. I will leave the link in the show description here. It collects the first 6 issues of Argo 5. That's issues 0 through 5. As you can see, it's a pretty substantial book. And, well, everyone familiar with my books kind of knows what it's all about already. Super team, perhaps delving a little more into personal life, maybe a little superhero action, slice of life, soap opera type of situation going on with this book. Talking about time-sensitive material, Indie Planet, which a lot of these books you're going to see that I have gotten are from Indie Planet. That's where I order a lot of indie comics. They are running for this weekend, Black Friday to Cyber Monday, a 50% off sale. So if you shop there, get all your books in the basket, there'll be a little coupon on the lower left. You click that before you check out. You'll be getting 50% off. I made a big order myself. We'll be seeing that probably in the next indie haul. But in that respect, I did release the Law & Order Christmas special through my Argo comics. So apparently a lot of Argo comics to let you guys know about. So I'm doing that right off the bat. Law & Order had a Halloween special. Now there's a Christmas special. All right. Bill Mouse doing the art. Sorority of Power artist. Another title I have at Argo Comics. Does a phenomenal job. Mike Babinski does inks. And Giuseppe Pica does colors. You have this cover is cover A. Cover B is the gift wrapped cover. And cover C is the on ice cover. But basic backstory with Law & Order. Sometimes Big Justice comes in little packages. And she is a very petite super cop who's actually the liaison between the superheroes and the National Police Departments. So, that book is available. And again, all the books on Indie Planet are 50% off for this weekend. Okay, speaking of Indie Planet, that's where I got these first releases. And our cover story, if you saw in the YouTube caption for this video, was this Powers That Be #1. Okay, this is by the Powerverse, a company that's been making some noise. Powers That Be kind of is a crisis type of story, and it unites a number of the Powerverse universe characters. I guess Powerverse, you don't need to say Powerverse universe. You can just say the Powerverse. Okay, there's Nigel Flood Citizen from his Celtic clan, the guy with the shield over here. Okay, that's Will Power. He's the kind of like the archetype main hero of the Powerverse. And I think a Kickstarter is coming up for this character, Dreadlocks, who was very cool in the book as well. So I had gotten this from Indie Planet. And here's a little snafu that was done. Willpower number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So obviously, we do not have number 2. So that was a ordering error on my part, but I corrected that with their sale. So that one will be on its way to me. Willpower, just quickly, the whole universe has pretty much the density of the whole multiverse has gotten decreased. Okay, unbeknownst to most people, that event occurred from a scientific experiment that Will's father did, and Will was in a chamber that protected him from this. So the multiverse is less dense. He is still the same, to the point where he is the densest thing in the universe and super strong and can actually see through things, because basically everything is less dense. So there are 5 issues of this, and again, I ordered all 5, or so I thought, but the other one will be on the way. All right. Another company that I bought a good amount of stuff from. I think I ordered direct from them, though. Okay. No, these are a little out of order. Here we go. Short Fuse Media. Okay. And Tesla was, I'd seen the art style. Oh, actually, going back to Willpower, I would like to do the credits in here. Okay, even though we got a lot to go over. Vince White, pretty much, written, penciled, inked. Vince White is pretty much the creative force behind Willpower. So that is to be noted. Let me go through here. The credits on Tesla. Demetrius Moore, creative story artist. Whitney Cook, colorist, contributor. Okay, I'd kind of seen some previews of this online. It looked really great. I flipped through it. Not really disappointed at all in this. A very nice release from Short Fuse. Really digging the art. Story looks cool. Colors. You know what we do sometimes here on these video reviews. And that's why I like having physical copies. I'm able to give you a little peek for review purposes only. Great art style, great colors. Very much looking forward to the read of this one. Okay? And not stopping there with Short Fuse, I ordered this Pink Wing and Prime Controller. Okay? Issues 1 and 2. There's 1. Oh, no, that's 2. There's 1. 1, 2. A couple of kid superheroes. I'd really liked, again, a lot of times on Facebook or through the net you can find little previews. I really liked the look of it all. Creative written, illustrated by Ramel Rocketman Hill. Okay, Ramel Hill does this book, and he does it very well. Again, I already flipped through it. Looked very good. Looking forward to the read. And wrapping up Short Fuse, I had this book, Grit, which I know is by another creator at one point, and Short Fuse acquired the character, and then they brought him into a fight with their own Unstoppable. Okay, Grit versus Unstoppable. So, good. Grit versus Unstoppable. Unstoppable on the back cover here, done by, or is this a print? No, it's a print. Gilbert Monsanto, who's been doing a lot of stuff online with, actually there's a Facebook group called The Arena, which for a small fee, he does Gilbert does a commission of your character that is entered into one of his fights, like Battle Box, where the winners of, there's a poll created, there's votes, the winner, top two winners get to have their characters face off. And in actuality, they just had a similar contest for groups, and Argo 5 was one of the top two in that. So, in addition to having Gilbert do an Argo 5 illustration, there will be a face-off with the other top vote getter. So that'll be cool. All right, but we are back to Grit, and again, I want to go over written Maximiliani, edits Rashawn Mikado, interior artwork Jordan Michael Johnson, cover artwork DC, and I've seen the name a lot online, great artist, but let me try to Stulpner, DC Stulpner. Post-production, all right, Walker Jr., editor-in-chief Rommel Hill, who we just talked about. So, again, Grit versus Unstoppable. Two books that, again, look great. Looking forward to the read. And for my order, they chucked in an extra print. And there's a Hot Shot, other side, Hot Shot, which Mike Watson does. And there's actually a current Kickstarter for his Vigilance character. I'm very much looking forward to. Me and Mike traded years ago Argo 5 issues and Hot Shot issues. He did a pinup for me of Gladiator. Really love his work. That's very cool. Talking of people who've done Argo Comics work, Argo Comics Anthology #1 had a Teen Machine story by Greg Warrenchak, and he had his own Kickstarter, Bree Bubbles, and I ended up backing that, getting this book. Greg actually did a couple Teen Machine stories for me in the Argo Comics Anthology. Fan of his work, picked up, backed this book and picked it up. All right. Talking of people whose work I'm a fan of, let's see. Trying to see what issue this is. Oh, there it is. No, 12, yeah. This is issue 12. Okay. Stuart Black's Four Horse Fens. Okay. Invasion storyline still going on. Alien invasion. Anyone who's been watching my hauls knows how much I love this series. Stuart's been doing some phenomenal work. Yeah, let's peek at the art like we like to do. Love his style. Art, colors, writing, characterization, humor. This book really does have it all. So, highest recommendation on that one. And talking of Kickstarters, which we were, another book that I had backed, Geek Girl. Okay. I guess somewhat in the tradition of Greatest American Hero, she had gotten alien tech. I believe it's in the glasses, not the costume though. In the glasses that gave her superpowers, but also made her super klutzy. Okay, so this was a Kickstarter that I had backed. Let's see where they have a credits page going on. Well, Sam Johnson's the writer. Carlos Granda, art, colorist. What is that? NAHP. Nop. We'll go with that. Letterer Paul McLaren. Okay. Yeah, I'll say that Carlos Granda does some great work as well. Okay. Really like that style. Colors are great as well. There's some cool artwork right there. So, this was another one. He also did The Almighties. Same writer, Sam Johnson, which was a book that I picked up a while back. Sam's a good guy and wanted to back that, and I'll look forward to that read as well. All right. Let me pop this out of. Okay. Spirits of Destiny, #1. All right. Give you some credits there. Creator writer, Dorfis Jean. Consultant, Dennis Knight. Pencils, Zach Dolan. Also did some pencils, Saint Yak. And another penciler, Richard Parada. And Alexander Malijev. Inks, Laurie Foster. Colors, Alexander Malijev. Letters, Alex Giles. Editor, Alyssa Cinquina. All right. The name that stands out for me, of course, is Zach Dolan, who was the creator of Super. Okay, Super is a fantastic book by Unlikely Heroes, which is a publisher. I guess they've done 5 or 6 issues, and I can't say enough good things about that series. So, being his name was on this and his cover, I had to pick that up, or pick this up rather. A little preview of the art. Okay. Really phenomenal work. Definitely worth picking up if you can get a hold of it. Here's another one from Indie Planet. Bearclaw Media Group, Cosmic Villain Spotlight, Stellarex. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, this character might be part of Advent Comics' Cosmos storyline. Eric Bennett was a writer. Gilbert Monsanto, who I talked about with that whole The Arena Facebook group. He does the pencils and inks, which makes it an instant buy for me. Tristan McDonald did the colors. Even though most of the book is actually like a black and white book. But love Gilbert's work. So this is a book that I had to pick up. Black and white or not. It was an Indie Planet book. Okay, Kablam is the printer of Indie Planet. Oh, no, you even get some handbook style pages here in the back. So very cool. Talking of cool publishers, Oniric Comics. Okay. This is a pinup book. Let me see. Well, there's actually a lot of creators in this one. So I'll just say that Chris Malgrain is the publisher and I guess highest contributing artist on Oniric Comics. He does the rocket science art of the stories. This was a bit of a pinup book, but a lot of great art within. Okay. Actually, his rocket science book, his Formidables, is another title. All get the highest recommendation. Okay, we got to kind of pick up the pace here a little bit because a lot of books to get to. Titan put out Fighting American, which I used to like it when it was under Rob Liefeld's Awesome Comics. This Terry Dodson cover really didn't hurt things either. Usually I've been getting most things in trade these days, but the Terry Dodson cover just put me over the edge, so I had to get that. Okay, Jim Balent's Tarot. Okay, anyone, again, following my hauls knows that I always get Tarot. This is issue 106. Yikes. So for an indie, that's a big number. It is a mature reader title, so it's not for the kids to be ordering. It's about witchcraft and things of the supernatural nature. And it is a book that I have every issue of and have enjoyed greatly. Okay. Heroic Publishing is another company that I buy on and off a bit. There are a couple titles here, Tigress and Witch Girls Incorporated. Okay. Basically, Heroic puts out a pretty good amount of titles. They're all available at Indie Planet. So basically with Heroic, I'm kind of a fan of some of the different artists, and I find myself picking up those particular issues. Adam J. Walters did work in this one, so I had to get it. But, I mean, you can go over to Indie Planet. Again, they're running that sale. You can look up the Heroic titles, and you can kind of... Most of the books over at Indie Planet do have preview pages, so you could always check those out and see what they're all about. Now, okay, this was a gentleman who, again, had his books out on Facebook and actually on eBay, and I was able to get pretty much like a big set of his books. I think it's Dan DeMille. Yep, Dan DeMille. Okay, he's the main creative force behind these books. Let's see. Well, yes, it's Rami. Okay, it's kind of like an undercover student type of character. They had Sentries, 3 issues of that. Very cool cover, this one in particular. So I was interested in that book. Show you some interior art. Very well done. That is Sentries 1, Sentries 2, Sentry 3. Okay. And he also has this book, Cogs. Okay, issue 1 and 2. Okay. Keeper of the Gates. So, kind of like a post-apocalyptic story with some mutated people. All looked very good, so ordered that. Bethel Comics. Okay, Z Lunar. Saw some preview artwork for this. Thought that looked very good. James Bethel is the creator-writer. Don Edwards well, did the rest, let's say. Penciler, inker, colorist, letterer, cover artist. And again, when I saw some preview pages of this, I thought that art looked very cool. Okay. Available at any planet with their 50% off for this weekend. Z Lunar, Indie Planet, Tales of the Universe. Kind of like this cover, so I kind of went with that. Okay, Zyon Comics, Tales of the Universe. I don't see credits up front. I do see that they have their own type of handbook page as well. Always nice with the indie characters to get some handbook pages so you know what's what. Another Indie Planet book, Darum. Darum, Captain of the Stars. Okay, issues 1, issues 2. Okay. So let's see. Jared Gifford was the writer. Chandra Kelly was the artist. Chandra, I've had contact through Facebook, and I've gotten some pinups from him, and he was the driving force for me to check out this series. He's a little bit of a cartoony style, but I think he's a pretty talented artist. So, kind of had me picking it up and checking it out. Okay, haven't read it, but I will look forward to doing so. Here's a publication. Man who has a lot of fans, but you may not know there's a publication out there, Pacesetter, George Perez magazine, all about us George Perez fans. If you recall, I did mention in previous indie halls where I've mentioned my own Argo Comics that I have an artist, Alex Garcia, who's pretty much very influenced by George Perez. He has an interview in this issue. They ask him what he has coming up, and he does say work for Argo Comics. So it's nice to have a mention here in Pacesetter. And pretty much that is the already released Argo 5 number 24 and the upcoming Argo 5 number 25 with his Perez art style. I felt him a fitting artist to do our monumental 25 issue anniversary. So this is a great book if you're a fan of George Perez or comic art in general. You get really, or even just the properties he worked on, like Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. You always have just a great. I mean, I'm going to assume that like most people are fans of George Perez because his work is just phenomenal. So, you'll get some occasionally black and white versions or unpublished pinups that George has done. Pacesetter, I would like track them all down if I was you. Phenomenal book. Phenomenal books that we are going over. Okay, Gold Digger, number 247. How many indies get anywhere near that? I mean, that's got to be, that might be the record holder right now for any indie publication. Most mainstream books aren't coming up to that number either. So Gold Digger, Fred Perry from Antarctic Press, always in my indie halls because it's one of my favorite books. And Fred Perry's art and writing are really superb. They also had the Halloween special. Okay, so it's number 13. 13th Halloween special. I mean, 13 years they've been doing that. Let's see. Well, Project Archangel. Written and created by Keith Holmes, penciled by Ken Hensley. ink, colors, letters, Todd Rayner. Okay. Again, so previews of this. Now this might have been from Indie Planet, but this is a trade. Okay, the 50% sale this weekend is for stapled comics. So any single issue comic is 50% off. This is a trade. Does not apply. Okay. Speaking of Indie Planet, got this Wonderfunders anthology, which I thought the cover was very cool. Okay. Wonderfunders is like pretty much an anthology, which, as most anthology, a number of amateur creators who got together, pooled their resources so that they can put out their comic and look cool from the outside. This is good for you guys to see some of the inside now. Okay. A lot of different styles throughout this book. But I thought I would give it a shot because, again, I did like the cover and saw some preview pages. Okay, the black and white story. So you can read their listing and figure it out if it's for you. I love this Larry Stroman cover, so I picked up City Earth. Okay, this is number 4. Picked up City Earth number 4, but now I actually went back when they had the sale and picked up 1, 2, and 3 because I looked through the story and it looked very cool. Art's pretty good as well. So it was enough to make me order it. Stone Island Comics, Super Mystery Comics, number 1. Pretty much public domain characters, which I've been getting into some of those lately. So Magno was a public domain, Lash Lightning, Vulcan, the Black Spider. What do we got here at the end here? Harry the Hack. Well, at any rate, these are, I don't think these are the original stories. I think these are modern reinterpretations. Okay. Do another look-see for review purposes. Look pretty cool to me. So definitely something I want to check out. Saturn and Orion. Pilotstudios, book 1. Okay. What do we got here? I think that was a cool cover. Okay. Story J. Ewer, or in letters Ben Ferrari, colors Federico Gillen. Created by Ewer and Ferrari. So, cool cover. Preview pages look good, so I ordered it. I had issues of the Union before, so I picked up the rest now. Okay, I had one, liked it, so that made me get 2, 3, and 4. Okay, all available at Indie Planet. I'm telling you, get them during that sale. Tom Pescator, writer. Lathe is the artist. He goes by Lathe. Brustad is the colorist. Okay. So this is a black and white books, but I guess the colorist for the cover is some artwork. I'm just a sucker for indie super teams, so the Union was pretty much right up my alley. And I liked issue 1. I read that. Apparently they were good enough for me to come back for more. And that is the highest recommendation. Okay. Karen and Karen. Just looking for a publisher. Unsated Comics. Unsated Comics. Karen and Karen. Okay, kind of reminded me of like that old book Double Impact. There's been a number of books that had like a female duo, and I liked the preview art, so okay, there's a little preview of the art. Thought it was very well done. I didn't see any credits here, so on the cover, S.C. Armin, Azar Babaev, Stas Leonov, Stas Leonov, Ramdot, and Josh. So, okay, that's, I guess, you can get your own copy and look into, look what we have back here. A whole bunch of Advent comics, which is a company I really enjoy. This was actually another Kickstarter. So, Titan Ultraman #1, Titan Ultraman #2, Regulators, Cosmos, Cosmos Handbook, okay, Supernatural Agents, Advent, that's another Advent, and The Return of Galaforce. Okay. Advent Comics have been putting out some very good stuff. Okay, here's some, Kickstarters, sometimes they get those goodies. So, this came with a sticker, a little card here, or print, whatever you want to make of that. Yeah, they've been doing some great work. Okay, I mean, here's a cover by Bart Sears. Okay, Advent has a number of things available at Indie Planet. So even though I got these on Kickstarter, feel free to check out Advent Comics on Indie Planet as well. Back to Heroic. They had this sensational G-Girl, and Luis Rivera, I got a commission from him lately, and he's one of the artists in this one. So as I said, I'm a little on and off with Heroic. Since he was one of the artists in this, I picked that up. Well, bigger indie, but still indie, Image Comics. We had Curse Words from Charles Soule and Ryan Brown. Ryan Brown, one of my favorite artists who does God Hates Astronauts. Always loved his work. Friends with him from convention, so I've gotten Argo 5 pinups from him, and this was a very entertaining story. Okay, Charles Soule came up with a different take on magic to some degree. I've read this trade already, and I would highly recommend it. All right, we got. Okay, what is Ariotstorm Productions, okay? I don't have issue 1 here with me because I had that already. Oh, you know what? This might have been in the New York Comic-Con haul, but I'll just bring it up again. If you didn't see that, Yumi and Ever, number 2, and number 3, okay? And basically, it's Aletha Martinez doing the whole thing, story, art, writing, writing and story, same thing. She does it all on this, and she does it all very well. Aletha is a artist for a lot of the mainstream books, but for me, this Yumi and Ever, her own, creator-owned story is some of the best stuff. So that is another one I'll highly recommend. And it looks like we got through it. All right. So once again, I'll remind you, Indie Planet, 50% off this weekend. So you might want to jump on that while you can. I do have the Argo 5 Kickstarter. The early birds are running out. So if you're down for checking out my Argo 5, go over to Kickstarter. Probably just search Argo, but yeah, I'll have the link in the show notes below. And keep coming back to Comic Frontline for all your news, views, and comics entertainment.